All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Family Finance Friday with DJ the Money Coach and Nick Westbrooks. And this show is brought to you by the DJ the Money Coach team and the Seven Spheres of Money system. And before we head to tonight's beach, hit that like button, share with at least 5 people, and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can become notified and aware when this amazing program becomes available each and every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And also so you can help us spread the message and the good word of the Pom Pom Lifestyle Movement, which is plenty of money, peace of mind, and we invite you to come join us on the beaches of the world. And tonight's beach is the principle is power to unlock the present. I'll say that one more time. I know there's a lot of P's in there. So you can follow us. The principle is power to unlock the present. So without further ado, let's get into it. But first, DJ Money Coach, how you doing on this Friday evening?
Nick, I'm in a pom-pom state of mind. It's summertime. As Will Smith said, summertime. It's summertime. The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. But most importantly, as the title of tonight's show, the principle is the power to unlock the present, which is the gift in the present. So we are humble, grateful, and honored to have followed the power of the 4x4. So tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, is a confirmation about 2 principles that God has shared with us. Man without vision will perish. However, man with vision will prosper. The second principle is if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move a mountain. Now, this is metaphorically because some of the valleys in your life are like the size of Mount Kilimanjaro. But if you have the faith in the word and apply God's principles, you can literally move mountains mentally and physically. And the way you can do that is that you allow God to download his vision into your brain, and all you are is a vessel to manifest the power of God. Even the wicked who have monetary and physical success are utilizing God's universal, immutable principles. They're just using them for the wrong reasons. Today's show is to show you the power of the principle, having the vision, sticking to the plan. And when you do it, God creates a multiplier and he unlocks the present, which is the reward on his time in the present. So we're going to share a lot of amazing principles, but only 4. And we're going to show you how to navigate through them to unlock your unlimited present. And when God's ready to show his power through you, it will be right on time. So Man, we're so excited that we're going to go to a break quick because I have another picture, Nick, that I got to send you from the MLB All-Star game. And this is going to really tie a big bow on the principle is the power to unlock the present. So, Nick, I'm going to need about 2 minutes because I got to go find my other phone so I can send you a couple of pictures in a video and show you the power. But first, let's do this, Nick. Let's tell them what the principles are. So we gave you the two biblical principles, right? Whatever you can dream of, speak. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Be it hot or cold, but be lukewarm, God will spew you out of his mouth. Now, God, again, told us in the times of Noah that he was going to bring a massive storm and redo the whole world. Now, I'm not trying to get religious or biblical on you. However, I want you to think deeply. I want you to go underneath the surface. Because right now, we're living in the times of Noah. And simultaneously, we're living in times of Sodom and Gomorrah. And in both of those stories, there were two men that God chose to elevate, rejuvenate, and calibrate to start anew. He told Noah, hey man, this is no longer going to exist. Sun and harvest boundlessly because my people have not listened to me. So Noah, I want you to build an ark because it's going to storm for 40 days and 40 nights without stopping. Then he told Lot, in the town of Sodom and Gomorrah, he came to Lot because he was vastly disappointed in the reprobate minds that got out of control in Sodom and Gomorrah. People were living fluid, embracing what God clearly said in his word, a man should never lie down with another man as he lie down with his wife, for that is an abomination. So he told Lot, I'm bringing down the angels of destruction. And they're going to come and they're going to blow this town up. He said, matter of fact, I want you to gather your family together and I want you to protect the last few righteous and I want you to flee and do not look back. He didn't even want you to turn your neck to the side real quick. You know how we'll be with your girl or you be with your wife and you see that hottie and you know you better not look at her. God clearly said, if you flinch or turn slightly, I am going to turn you into a pillar of salt. Hey, man, don't take my word for it. You may think these are stories and myths and never happened, but right now we're living in both of those times simultaneously. But if you are faithful and God can count on you, he's going to reward you with abundance of new life. Right? So, unfortunately, guess what? Lot had a disobedient wife, and she wanted to talk back and show her disdain for Lot, and better yet, for God. But in the mix before she did that, guess what? These reprobate men were going through the town, knocking on the doors, trying to fornicate with the men. So much so that Lot said, hey, man, hold up, brother. You can't have him. I will sacrifice and give you my daughter. Now, I know in today's times, people be like, what the? Really? Hey, man, go check the book. So when he did that, his wife was unhappy, and she really now lost all respect and everything for Lot. And like they do, who don't understand the order, it's God, man, woman, child, business, and everything else. You can flip it all you want to, but when you are out of order, there are consequences. So Lot pulled up the crew. The angels of death came down and they destroyed that town. In the process of destroying, Lot's wife still running her mouth. And she decided, oh, I'm going to take a look back. She looked back, instantaneously, he turned her into a pillar of salt. But there was a happy ending for Lot and the rest of them, because he stayed true to God's word and followed the principles. Same thing with Noah. Noah grabbed 2 of everything and put them on this ark. And everybody thought he was crazy until that 40 days and 40 nights, 4,000 times of what a tsunami can do, wiped out the entire earth. And that's when God said the rainbow was created to show you that I would never do what again? I would never flood the earth. Right? So with that said, here's what we're here to celebrate: the principle to show you the power of faith and how it can unlock the gift, the present, on God's time in the present. So what are we saying? Nick, you and I, we had a dream. 2019, round about December, reached out to you, said, Nick, I want you to come join my new team. In the process of joining the new team, Nick, we're going to go online and we're going to create together DJ the Money Coach online. We did that. We had a very humbling start. Matter of fact, Nick, I'll let you share the story of that. What the people on the team, and here's the great thing, ladies and gentlemen, we put a team together, a sharp team, a young team, a very successful team. And only 2 people stood standing from that team with me. And them 2 people still standing with us. Hand in hand, arm in arm. Great man, great woman, great family, great mother, great children. But those other 3, 4, we had a little turbulence on the plane. The first one pulled their parachute. A little bit more turbulence. Boom. The next one pulled the ripcord. The last turbulence, they were all gone. And we still, when they left, man, it looked like our ship was going down fast in a blaze. So I'm going to go grab my phone. And Nick, tell them what we invested with. How long were we in the desert like the Israelites going around Mount Sinai? But I said one thing, Nick. I said, Nick, I've seen this video before. Did I not, Nick? I say we will rise up out of this, because all this is God is clearing the wheat from the chaff, separating the men and the women from the girls and the boys, and we will rise. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nick. I'm going to go get my other phone, and I'm going to send him these 2 pics in his video, and then after that, we're going to go to a commercial. So Nick, take it over. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, so that's right. April 2020, we brought the brick and mortar completely online. I was one of the first to join the team. We had a decent sized team. I would say we at least had maybe about 5 to 7 people on the team. And like DJ said, majority of them dropped off, but DJ had a track record. He had the track record of establishing, building, and developing and growing multiple 7-figure businesses. And he's been in the game for a couple of decades. So knowing that history, I didn't have any worries. But fast forward to that trek through the desert. We initially invested $12,000 into the DJ the Money Coach business. Of course, covering all of those startup materials, trainings, website, all the things of that nature. We went hard for 3 months doing masterclasses with DJ as the keynote, masterclasses featuring some of our partners, providing their lessons and their expertise. And at the end of those 3 months, after investing that initial $12,000, we made a whopping $3,000. So I say we made, I should have said revenue. It was a whopping $3,000 in revenue. We didn't make any money. We lost money, actually. and then a few months later, in August, if you go back, if you watched our previous episodes, we gave a shout out to Erica Williams, our partner that Ashley introduced us to. Once we met Erica, and DJ did his appearance on her platform, the Classy Climb, and we sold about 80 packages from that show. That's when it took off. We made 5 figures that month. And then last Friday, we also told you about how we built the team. See, DJ was referring to the initial team a few minutes ago. The team had to be rebuilt. So when we rebuilt the team and we got Kadera, followed by Desiree and Tajir, we multiplied that. Of course, there was a progression. We went from about 30, a few consistent months of earning around 30K in revenue. Then it went up to 50. And then when Kadera joined the team and closed those gaps, she brought us our first 100K month. And then we can fast forward to the story of Zanzibar. We got Zanzibar now. And so I just gave you the quick, the quick version of the story. There was a lot that happened in between that, but that's the quick version of where we started to where we are now.
Absolutely. And I just sent you, Nick, 2 pictures and a 1-minute video. And this is going to share with you what's the power of the 4x4. So Nick, we're going to put up and see, we were in that same situation with Zanzibar. And now, like Nick said, Nick studied my background before he jumped on the team. And he knew that I weathered a few storms. And now Nick and I have weathered a storm together more than once. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, every time we've gone into a storm, have we not come out multiplied better?
Yep, absolutely.
Nick just told you guys, we got off to a bumpy start online, but we were successful in the bricks and mortar world. So now that Nick saw what that really felt and how it is, Nick, he's not rattled. So we endeavored into another bigger dream that wasn't even ever in my dreams. But God shows his power through the most obscure people. So God put the dream of Zanzibar in my head. And we got off to a great start. But never been to Africa, never done business over there. But you know what? Just like Noah, we had the faith the size of a mustard seed. Just like Lot, we followed God's principles and followed his word to the letter. So Zanzibar got off to a great start, fast out of the track. Here's one thing you don't want to do, and I think Nick participated in track and field in high school or college or something like that in the day. You never want to be the pace setter. If you follow track meets, marathons specifically, they always have somebody who's real fast that gets out and actually leaves the race, if you pay attention. In greyhound racing, they give you a rabbit to get out and set the pace, especially when they want to set a record. So we got out the gate ablaze, like Johnny Blaze from the Fantastic Four. And then we hit some uncharted waters, more uncharted than I have ever experienced. But what did I know? From having done it 4 times before, I knew we were in the right place, and I knew these massive storms were going to settle. And just like Jesus, when he was on the boat with the disciples, and they were all panicking because there were storms and thunder and lightning, and the boat was rocking, Jesus was asleep. And they're like, bruh, what are you doing? We about to go down like the Titanic. Jesus woke up calm and cool. There is no problem. The storm is over. So what we have done religiously is we followed the 4x4. Here's the principle. Nick, number 1, these are called the 4 dirty little words. And I can guarantee anybody, as long as you have your health and you apply these for 2 to 5 years consistently, you will have success. And if you do it with the right heart and the right mind, you will have significance. Now, these are simple, but they are not easy. So let me explain to you. Number 1, you have to have the discipline like an ant. Have you ever seen an ant stop working? Never. There's another passage in the Bible that said, how is it that you can find ants and lizards in the king's palace? It's almost like you can't get rid of a cockroach. They're going to be here from the beginning of time to the end of time because all they've been programmed is to work. So number 2 principle, accountability. You have to be accountable to the Most High. Then you have to be accountable to the system. And then you have to be accountable to the team. Because there's no I in team. So the second principle is accountability. The third one is plug into a system of proven success. We created this system back in 2002 called the 7 Spheres of Money. And we've been using it through thick and thin, ups and downs, Even when we had a little fear, even when we had a little frustration, and even when we had a little disagreement amongst us, we all subscribe to the same philosophy and the same principles, and we all acknowledge the same God. Why is that important, ladies and gentlemen? Because if you're on a team with somebody who's super talented, but they don't subscribe to the same principles of the system that the team subscribes to, they're going to be a lone wolf. They might score 40. They might score 5 touchdowns, but y'all still lose because they're going to do something that is outside of the team principles and accountability. But they're going to get theirs because they never were a team player. Then principle number 4, you have to do the work. See, you can't be ignorance on fire. What is that, DJ? Ignorance on fire is basically saying that when you have found something new that you're excited about, you just go out and have all this adrenaline and just go work and work with no plan. And you will have some semblance of success because the adrenaline is flowing through your body. Just like when a mother has a baby in trouble, they have actually seen and documented mothers lifting up 2,000-3,000 pound cars that the baby got stuck underneath because that one moment, all of this superpower went through their body, but it's only for a short period of time. Anytime somebody get excited about something, they always overestimate what they can achieve in a short period of time, and they underestimate what they can succeed sustainability for a lifetime. So the principle is the power to unlock the present for the present. So these 4 principles, the 4 dirty little words: discipline. Discipline yourself, because if somebody else has to, you're not going to be happy. How we articulate that to you: master the hard things in life early, life gets easier. Master the easy thing in life, i.e. cut corners, lottery mentality, life becomes a living hell. Couple that with accountability to system to team, and take the eye out and be a team player and do your job, and don't need to be pat on the back every time you do something right. That's nothing special. Plug into the system, go to work for 2 to 5 years doing the monotonous day in and day out like an Olympic athlete. Do you know that most Olympic athletes in timed events, they take 4 years to shave off a millisecond to win gold medals? 4 long, aggravating, lonely, depressing years. But when they are true and faithful and put the work in with the right system, with the right coach, in the right environment, they become world-class stars and household names and money unlimited. And if you're only chasing it for the money, let me tell you this: easy come, easy go. So now you take that first 4, and now you got to times it, Nick, by what I call the CEO skills, the soft skills, knowing how to have etiquette, decorum, dignity, grace, humility. Because see, these 4 are the intangibles that people who have hubris and ego get out of control, because they think that the sun, the stars, the moon, the world rotates around them, and anything that they exceed at, they think that nobody but them can do it. And then they lose their humility. And then their arrogance, their hubris, their disdain for people in general starts to manifest. But while they're winning and putting up numbers for the people they're in business with, people tolerate it. And they pretend like they like you, but they're really tolerating it. And there's a saying in the sports world: hey, as long as your super talent is producing, we'll put up with everything. But when the talent goes away, we dispose of you. So now the 4 times the 4 are called the 4 P's. Again, and this is all packaged as a package of principle. You can't have the front 4 without the back 4. So there's a saying in golf: we drive for show. See, the girls and the men, the boys and the women, they like to see somebody get up at the tee box and hit the ball 400 or 500 yards. It doesn't matter how errant, dog left, dog right. Wow, never seen somebody hit a ball so far. Just like in baseball, they want to see Bryce Harper knock the ball out of the stadium. But can Bryce Harper get the key walk or the key hit when the World Series on the line? So the saying is, drive for show, but putt for dough. Because the short game is the devil's in the details, and it is monotonous, boring, troublesome. And all it is to test your fortitude. So if you're going to err on the side of anything, err on the side of the devil's in the detail and the monotony of the workout. So the first P is professionalism. And what this is all about, ladies and gentlemen, is that we've already achieved one landmark accomplishment as the organization. See, DJ the Money Coach is not an individual. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. It's an organization, is it not?
Yes, it is.
It's an organization, ladies and gentlemen. And inside that organization, we adhere to a system called the 7 spheres of money. So we went out, put a team together, won a couple of championships. And the hardest thing to do, ladies and gentlemen, is to win the first championship. But the almost impossible is to sustain it, because now when you come out of nowhere and win, nobody was targeting you as the person to take down. But when you win the championship, everybody's giving you their best game so that they can take the king or the queen down so they can become the man or the woman. So we've done that. We jumped on to the internet. We went through our struggles. We overcame them. We had goals and visions, and we kept them up on the board, and we hit them, and we exceeded them. And here's another thing. Remember what I said. Man without vision perishes. So what does that mean? If you accomplish one major victory that you never accomplished, God will take everything away if you don't come up with another vision. So guess what? God gave us another vision. The vision was Zanzibar. So now we accomplished DJ the Money Coach on the internet, helped a lot of people, create a lot of success. Now, man, we went from one peak to another peak. So a lot of hikers and trekkers, they want to hit the 7 top peaks in the world on all continents. Mount Everest, Mount Kilimanjaro. So now we're attacking Mount Kilimanjaro. In the process of doing that, we just changed from one industry, transferred to another, but we still apply the same principles. There's a saying in corporate America, once you make it to the C-suite and become a CEO of a multinational, multi-billion-dollar company, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, because you can go do it in other industries, because there's an art and a science to being a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company, because it focuses on these 4 soft, intangible principles. Professionalism. So now we're in year 6, but we really, Nick, in year 1 of another 5-year program. And really with Zanzibar, we're 2.5 years into a 5-year plan. So professionalism means this: speak the King's English. I'm not exactly referring to English itself. I'm saying in the industry that you are trying to become the best or a high consistent performer, you have to speak the language of that industry, the jargon, the terminology. Nick, what's the language I need to speak in the education world as the master educator as yourself? What are some of the words and tools that I need to master, even though I don't have talent, in order to sustain a successful career like you have?
Curriculum, tailored instruction, lesson plans, for example.
Guess what? In order to be successful in business on YouTube, IG, you have to have a certain set of King's English. Like, subscribe, share, put the comments, DM us. In this business, in Zanzibar, guess what? We had to learn Swahili, currency exchange. What are shillings? What are, the religion of the island? It's a Muslim island. So some of the things that we do in America are not acceptable in the island. We have to respect that. There's several resorts that don't serve alcohol because they don't consume it. They do a prayer at the top of every 6 hours. They don't care what you think. This is their country. You're going to adhere to it. If they have Ramadan and you're trying to conduct business, guess what? You can go to jail. Guess what? If you're an independent, feminine woman that you can't tell me nothing, you go over there, you got your girls out, your chest, you got skirts up to your thighs. Guess what? It's not going to fly. On time. What's on time, Nick? What's on time, Nick?
On time is early.
Stay ready.
Yeah, if the show, if the meeting is at 7:00, you show up at 6:45.
When your favorite show comes on TV and it says it starts at 7 p.m., does it come on at 7:15?
Nope.
It starts at 7 p.m. because programming, Nick and I both have a little bit of broadcast television production. In that business, time is money, and there are repercussions if you don't hit the mark because the advertiser's going to get theirs. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. So professionalism, speak the King's English. Stay ready. Don't get ready. On time is 15 minutes before the clock of the time of the event. And then most importantly, look the part. Unless you have billions of dollars and you just don't give a rip, you better wear the suit that fits the event, unless you are given the event. The second soft principle. This is the one that eliminates the wannabes. You have to persistently work your plan, come heck or high water. Because if you come out with ignorance on fire and then you get a little hiccup, guess what most people do, Nick? Tell them what they do.
They get discouraged and they panic and they get discouraged and want to quit.
Yeah, and if they don't physically quit, don't they mentally quit? Have you had students that have quit, but they didn't physically quit, but they quit mentally in your class that had talent?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. They check out. Yep.
They check out. Here's the thing I would encourage you, ladies and gentlemen. If you have students, children who are very gifted, you need to make sure that they understand how to overcome challenges and don't baby them. Don't carry the book bag. Don't do everything for them because you're setting them up for total destruction because soon as they come across something that doesn't line up with always, patting them on the back for every little thing, they really can't even pontificate what happened, so they don't know how to react. Or worst thing is, don't have your child is the biggest, fastest, strongest person in everything they do, where they're just dominating people at their age group or their size group, where they never have any physical challenge. And then all of a sudden, they go from being the local high school star and they go to the college team. Guess what? The college team attracts what? All the local high school stars from around the country. And now you get into the arena and you played at a school with only 400 students, but the other kid played at the school with 4,000 students and he or she was number one. Teach them this early. Teach yourself this early. Understand this. Simple, not easy. So persistently work your plan. And that plan should be 2 to 5 years. Should have benchmarks, protocols, milestones, all of these things that you can certifiably document and actually check and balance. Number 3, perseverance. Here's what my pastor always told me, ladies and gentlemen. Reason why we're excited about the principle is the power to unlock the present is that he said, DJ, you either going into a storm or coming out of a storm. Going into a storm, be ready like the Boy Scouts and the Marines. And if you are, you come out of the storm as a multiplier of nothing but prosperity. But understand this, when you get to the top of Kilimanjaro, you got to go down. Coming into a storm, coming out of a storm. Get to the top of one peak, you got to go to the next peak. Or you get to Mount Everest, how do you get down? There's no helicopter coming through to get you off literally the North Face. You got to scale back down, which is actually harder. So now you incorporate professionalism, persistence, perseverance, which separates the men from the boys and the women from the girls, because when you get that gut check, you get that Mike Tyson elbow, 98% of you can't come back from it. Guess what? We've had that experience in Zanzibar. We've had multiple experiences, but we went in with a plan like Noah and like Lot. And we knew from experience being together that there were going to be some storms. We didn't expect them to be as hellacious as they have been. What do I mean? Stuff we can't control. Unrest because of an election we had nothing to do with. Now, you can blame it on, but guess what? Number 47, the orange guy, what did he do? He embarked upon an unnecessary war. Unbeknownst to us, most of our people are coming through that corridor, ladies and gentlemen, which is what is it called? The UAE. Most of my flights were through the UAE corridor to Zanzibar. Boom. 40, 56% of business. Woo. There's nothing I had to do with that. Nothing Nick had to do with that. But 2 catastrophic events within 4 months of each other. Imagine that. Imagine one, but then another one. 99.9% of people quit. I'm going to say it again, ladies and gentlemen. 99.9% of the people quit. The toughest and the roughest of them quit. They tap out. Not us, brother. Persevere, because we know we're coming out of a storm to a tsunami economical windfall. But it's a windfall because we've done the work. We've applied the 4x4, and right now, baby, number 4 is in effect. When the lights are the brightest, when the situation is the most perilous, who's going to stand up and answer the call like David? We are. So today, on July 17th, we have been blessed with an abundance of presents because we have adhered, unwavering, no delineation, to the vision that God gave us and applied the principles and stuck to the power of faith. And it has unlocked the most amazing gift that we can't imagine. And we're just on the precipice of an economic tsunami, which most people are going to say next year, Nick, y'all got lucky. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, over the past 6 months, a lot of people who are invested over where we at, selling, leaving, scurrying. Not us. Not us, baby. We got knocked, kicked down, got back up. But we saw, just like the Israelites, he said to Moses and Aaron, I'm taking y'all to the promised land. But guess what? Once Moses did that amazing feat, parted the Red Sea with the original Israelites, that was a miracle beyond miracles. They got comfortable and they stopped doing what God told them to do. And the amazing thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, they were only like 7 miles or 40 miles away from the promised land. Took them 40 years. He just kept making them circle back around, confusing them and all this stuff because they stopped listening. And you know what happened? The old heads started losing faith, got fat, and they said, you know what? Caleb, Joshua, we want you to go do some recon and go over the hill and tell us how big them cats over there that own your land, because that land is yours. Now, here's the great thing about this. You know who create the most success and create revolutions? It's not the old heads. It's the young people because they don't know no better. So Caleb and Joshua went out and said, hey, but guess what? Before Caleb and Joshua, they had already sent another convoy. And they came back, oh man, them cats like 500 feet tall. It's like 400 million of them. We can't take. God said, that land is yours. So they sent out a cavalry. They sent out a caravan, and those old heads kept coming back. No, man, let's just stay right here. It's cool. We out of Egypt, man. No, man. He said, all right, guess what? Moses, Aaron, you're not making it to the promised land, but your people will. He got the 2 young bucks, Caleb and Joshua. They went over the hill. We could take these clowns. And everybody else was like, no, man. No. Joshua and Caleb was like, we will take these clowns. David said, who is this uncircumcised heathen, 10 feet tall, talking derogatory towards my God and my people? Right? So here's what we did. Same thing. We look back at the plan. We look back at our past history that we followed the vision that God gave us and said, wait a minute. He took us out of this storm, blessed us. We started with a group of 40. He narrowed it down to 10. We won with those 10. We came, did another ensemble. We started with 5 or 6. Brought it down to 2. Built another team. And guess what? We go back to Zanzibar 2-3 times a year. We're going back trying to get technical stuff done, legal stuff done, relationships done. Regardless, they don't care, ladies and gentlemen, if we've invested tons of our time and resources into their soil. Talk about fight the power together. And then it dawned on me, Nick. This is the epiphany I had. Profound. The continent, which some idiots call Africa a country, it's a continent with 54 countries. It dawned on me, Nick, even though I knew this. The reason why some people got brought over here against their own will because it's 54 countries of tribalism who all look like each other, who did not get along with each other because they were territorial. So it was not hard for some other to come over here and barter and sell your people into slavery and indentured servitude. Because the Rwandans did not look at the Ugandans as their people. Guess what, Nick? You experienced this. The Dar es Salaam people look down on the people from Zanzibar because they say they some country bumpkins, slow, feeble. The Dar es Salaam people, they have education and a little bit of sophistication. But guess what? The people from Arusha say, hey, man, they crooks. They do things illegal, manipulative. The people in Arusha, we're high, ethical, God-fearing people, and we do business the way it's supposed to do. So we don't look down, but we know we don't really work too fluid with the Dar es Salaam people. Can you see the optics here, ladies and gentlemen? Each one of these tribes from each different province have a different thought process about each other, but they all look the same. You cut them, they all bleed the same. They have 400 or 500 different dialects in Swahili. Facts. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we had to go in, apply the 4 dirty little words, the tangible work. That's really the easy part. But we had to master the 4 P's: relationships, diplomacy, be diplomatic. So as we learned, because we were going in thinking like Americans for 2.5 years, like the rhino, running headstrong and negative opposition the American way, ladies and gentlemen, and bumping head. Man, as my grandmother used to say, a hard head makes for a soft ass. Now my team, 18, 20 months ago, hey, DJ, maybe we should do it this way. But I'm an old head to a certain extent. No, we're not. This is our resources from America, our investors, our properties, our assets. We doing it our way. Guess what? That didn't work. So guess what? Having the humility, listen to the team, go back and reread some books, Built to Last by Jim Collins, how Netflix made Blockbuster Video disappear, Circuit City no longer with us, Sears and JCPenney, passe, Xerox, 86. I looked up and said to myself, hey man, I don't want to be like them. Thank goodness I'm the oldest person on the team by decades. So eventually I got the memo. But the great thing is the team didn't, try to hammer me over the head like a baby seal. They wanted to, but they didn't. So went around Mount Sinai one more time, and see what you thought as an catastrophic event, the unrest with the election in October, where they closed down the mainland Dar. Not really anything happened on the island of Zanzibar, but the flights couldn't get in and out of Zanzibar because of that. Hey, we weathered that. But then when 47, the orange guy said, we're going to embark. And then, because we on the road. We got retreat sign, got new partners coming on, people coming. All that one. Oh, okay. Oh, I know this one. Here's the story. And we're going to go to a commercial. And hopefully you catch some of this stuff, because this is real experience. I'm not doing hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. I'm actually dummying down the story. But there's a story. I want to take us to the break. So here's the story. Man has conversation with God. God tells man, Mustafa, I'm going to save you, and there's a major storm that I'm having come over the horizon. If you look back, you see those lightning bolts off in the far distance. They're coming. But I'm going to save you. So Mustafa heard God said he's going to save me, and Mustafa thought God is physically was going to take his hand out of heaven and pull him out. So let's fast forward the story. So, hey, uh-oh, what's going on? The British are coming. No, there's a storm coming. It's 5 miles away, and we must evacuate. They're on the broadcast. They're on the horns. They're on the horses. Every mode of transportation, every mode of media, they're getting it out. People are evacuating. Have you seen this video before? When there was Hurricane Katrina, old people, no, I'm not leaving my property. I'm staying right here. So guess what? A literal hurricane comes through the valley. Mustafa, hey, why didn't you evacuate? Hey, God, I talked to him personally 5 clicks ago. He said he was going to save me. So guess what? Storm comes through, wipes out a bunch of people. Waters rise up to the top. Here comes a motorboat. Mustafa, man, hop on in the boat. No, dog, I'm good. I appreciate you offering me the boat. This the last one, bruh. God said he gonna save me. Boat goes through. Waters go up over the rooftop. Mustafa scurries up to the top of the steeple. One helicopter comes across. Storm warning. There's going to be a unrest during the election. Y'all might want to head home back to America before. Nah, we good. We talked to the people on the island. Man, everything's pole on the island of Zanzibar, which means laid back, no drama. Because really, there's no drama on the island. The drama is from the mainland. We good? We're good. We're good. Boom. All of a sudden, the unrest happens. That's the boat. Missed the boat. Now, we got to scurry up to the top of the steeple. The helicopter's coming across. Mustafa, yo, dog, we dropping the little string with the little cage. Hop in. We got to get up out of here. Everybody else has perished. You're the last one left. Mustafa said, my man, I'm good. I talked to God 5 clicks ago. He told me he was saving me. I'm good. Mustafa wakes up the next day. He's feeling great. All of a sudden, he's like, man, I don't remember this place. There it is, the pearly gates. Gabriel or Mike, the angel, whichever the one is, he's at the gates. Mustafa, you weren't supposed to be here. He said, I know I ain't supposed to be here. So he said, hey, man, welcome to heaven. Mustafa's upset. Even though he's in heaven, Mustafa's upset. Mustafa gets to the man of God, and he says, in his arrogance, in his disregard for the Most High, why didn't you save me? You told me that you were going to come get me. God looks past his blatant insubordination, his disrespect and disregard. He gives him grace. Let me say this again, ladies. He gives this fool grace. He says, my child, I told you a storm was coming. I was going to save you. Number one, there was an announcement through all mediums and broadcasts that the storm was on the horizon. There was the one time that I saved you. Number two, the waters came up to the porch on top of the first level of your house. I sent a boat. That was the second time I saved you. Then, in your blatant disregard for my vehicles and mode of saving you, I sent you one last helicopter with an individual cage to sweep you away. And you, in your arrogance, you passed on it. I never said, son, I was going to literally pick you up with my hand and pull you to safety. Guess what? It only took 2 oops upside your head for DJ the Money Coach. When the Orange Man started the war, I immediately started listening to D, Ty, Nick, Madam Miriam, Safai. What? We told you should get into the Safai business 18, 20 months ago. No. I'm a beach guy. I don't want to do no safari. Guess what? I paid attention. I did not want to be Mustafa. There's a funny saying, and we're going to take this to the break. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. So when we come back from the break, we're going to tell you why we're so excited. Because unlike Mustafa, I didn't pass on the third lifeline. I took it. And when we took it, applied with the principles, and the power got, magnified because the faith of a mustard seed, God unlocked a present that is more than what we deserve and are not even worthy of in the present. So right now, do me a favor. I hope you enjoyed these stories because they're real. And these experiences are what separates everything. Like, subscribe, and share, because we're going to take you to the break and we're going to come back and we're going to share with you the amazing door in the economic tsunami that's about to be unlocked into a massive windfall for you, us, and everybody. You're watching Family Finance Friday with Nick Westbrooks and DJ the Money Coach, and we'll be right back after these powerful messages from us, for you, with us. We'll be right back. Good everybody, this is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live in Arusha, and as I told you the other day, I attended my first safari because of this amazing partnership that we just created with a great company called Sunny Safaris. And to my right is the owner and his beautiful family. Take it away.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, D. Yeah. DJ has given me this chance to speak a bit on his video, but I'll show you the best possible safaris in Tanzania. So you're most welcome. Maybe after your beach holidays or after your safari, you will definitely go to Pam Pam Suite, Zanzibar.
And that's
Welcome.
absolutely 100% correct. And you guys know what we always say. We want you to have
Of course.
plenty of money and peace
Yeah.
of mind.
Yeah.
Come join us on the Beach and World Club with Sunny Safaris.
With Sunny Safaris, yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Karibu.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is yours truly, DJ the Money Coach. And right now, we're having the pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. You come join us on the Beaches of World Club for the Bush and Beach package. And today's beach is Safari with our new business partners, Sunny Safaris. And you know what's so great about Sunny Safaris? 4 decades in business. That's right. Over 60 Land Cruisers, and they have the top rated safari business here in Arusha. Right now we're at Tangiri National Park. We're having a great time with our amazing driver, Herman, and shout out to the owner, Faraz, for making this happen. So hit that link, get the new special with us, and come join us on the Beaches of the World Club for the Bush and Beach package with DJ the Money Coach. And I wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money, peace of mind. I'll see you on the safari with Sunny Safaris and DJ the Money Coach.
All right, we're back.
All right. So we're going to deliver on the promise that we told you right before the break. So what I want you to do, Nick, I sent you a video and 2 pictures. So let me tee this up for everybody. Master the hard things in life, and life gets easier. Weather the storms, but have the right vision, the right support system, the right 4x4, and you will be victorious. Now, this is the exact example of perseverance, persistence, discipline, accountability, doing the work for 2 to 5 years. So this gentleman we're about to share with you. So baseball is my man. Hold on. This always happens. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, I know what story's getting ready to tell. It's an incredible story, man. I'm excited about it, but I'm not going to steal the thunder here. But you might know where we're going with this.
All right. So Nick and I are both baseball guys. And just to give context to what we're about to show you and tell you why the principle is the power to unlock the present, which is the present in today's time. So let's go back. When baseball used to be the #1 sport in America. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen. In the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and even beginning of 2000, baseball was the #1 sport in America. So much so, I grew up as a childhood kid. Baseball was the coolest thing, better than sliced bread and Kool-Aid. From the mid-70s to 1994, we represented anywhere from 17 to 27% of the baseball players in America. When I say we, I mean Black Americans, not Afro-Latina. I mean Black straight up from Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, Chicago, New York, California, straight. Because baseball was cool. Let me tell you why baseball was cool. Because understand this, what are the easiest sports for the youngest child to play right out the gate? There's 2 sports, Nick, that when you're like 3, 4, 5 years of age, very easy to play and have some success that your family and the community can get behind you. Share with them what one of those sports is, my friend.
Football.
Well, that's close.
Okay.
He was wrong, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first time Nick's wrong. So I give you another shot. When you were like 3, 4, 5 years of age, that you could play organized sports and have some semblance of success at 3 to 5 years of age across the country.
3 to 5 years of age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really early.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Actually, yeah. When you put it that way, I guess it'll only be running. Honestly.
Okay. So he was wrong again, ladies. So check it out. Soccer. Because your kid,
that's too early.
2, 3 years age, they have little soccer programs at the YMCA and everything.
Baseball. Not that young where I come from.
Yeah. Did you play T-ball?
Yeah, but not at 3 years old though.
My youngest son played T-ball at 3.
Oh wow.
My oldest son played T-ball at 5.
Yeah. It was closer to 5 for us. Yeah.
Right. So think about it. So the whole community gets behind us at that age. Football, yeah, but more so baseball, because kids and families come together and it's organized, not in specialty, but it's in your church, your YMCA, and your community league is the biggest ones. And everybody gets uniforms that actually look exactly like the pros. Mind you, kids emulate and duplicate what they see on TV. So as a little kid that's 5 years of age, you're playing T-ball, you can be on the New York Yankees and have the actual replica of a New York Yankees jersey that you play for. When you play the other sports, they don't give you the New York Knicks actual jersey to play in. They give you some other team name. So now, folks, most of our community gravitated toward baseball. Soccer was never really big at all, but it was an easy sport to play and very inexpensive. So to mind you that at the height of baseball in our community in the 90s, baseball committed an egregious act. They struck, and they didn't have a World Series for the first time in like 75 years. That was at the height of Sammy Sosa. Mark Aguirre came right after that. How do I know? Because the Chicago White Sox with Frank Thomas, who was the back-to-back MVP, they were in first place, and they didn't get to go to World Series because it was canceled. So in 1998, look it up, ladies and gentlemen, all of a sudden, Sammy Sosa and Mark Aguirre got into a home run competition to break Roger Maris's 61 home run record. And everybody around the world, correct me if I'm wrong, like the OJ trial. The OJ trial happened in 94. They interrupted the NBA finals to watch OJ drive down the expressway. Remember that? Same thing here, ladies and gentlemen. After the strike, baseball fell down from being the number one sport. But then in 1998, Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa got into amazing home run competition to break the record. And they literally was stopping broadcast and everything every time Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa came up to the plate towards the end of the season. Google it. Why is this important, ladies and gentlemen? Because at that point, baseball had rejuvenated itself. We still had the highest level of participation in baseball, and we loved it. But then they made a mistake. They start specializing baseball to have trainers and traveling teams, and made it so expensive that now the general population and the NBA did something that was very, very significant. They allowed high school players to go straight to the pros. They started during the Michael Jordan era to what? Highlight the individual as the superstar and had him on every commercial. What's one of the most famous commercials? I want to be like Mike. So as baseball is coming down, because here's another thing, ladies and gentlemen, as it got more expensive, if you get drafted, and here's the thing, what I'm going to tell you, despite anything you think, you know why boys and girls play sports? I know you're going to get this one right, Nick. I give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count. Why do primarily boys and girls play sports? For what reason?
Because they can make a future career out of it.
Nope. Man, Nick is on the road today. Got one more guess. Thinking from it from a social capacity. Why do boys and girls play sports?
Oh, they play on teams, so they play together. So that's how that's one of the ways that they learn how to socialize and socialization.
Yep. Nick's wrong again, ladies and gentlemen. I play sports to get the girl. The girls play sports to get the guy. Who's the most popular person in high school? The quarterback, the basketball player. Guess what? Baseball games.
Yeah, you play for different reasons, because I play sports that the girls really didn't care about.
I'm about to sum it up. Listen, you didn't let me finish. You just said it. Guess what? When is the basketball game played during the week? Is it played during the day, or is it played on Friday, Saturday night?
Well, I'm gonna get that wrong, because they played all days during the week, but it's in the evening time though.
But yeah, the big games are played at night after school.
Yeah.
Football is called Friday Night Lights. They shut down towns and fill up stadiums. So guess what? Your kid now who played baseball, majority of all the baseball games, ladies and gentlemen, are played like Knicks during school.
Yeah, during the day, yeah.
Yeah, when I played, number 1 high school team in all of the state of Illinois, we played our games at 7th period, which was like 1:45 p.m. So we got permission to get out of class. Guess who in the stands at a baseball game on Wednesday at 2:30 p.m.?
I would say if your parents not working, probably nobody.
Nobody. But guess what? What is the largest attractive youth sport in all of the world that just is about to start in a couple of weeks? What is the biggest amateur sport that all little kids look forward to watching on ESPN?
Talking about the World Series?
Little League World Series. But guess what, Nick, ladies and gentlemen? After you're 12, 13 years of age, there's no more big stage for you to be on so the girls can see you, because when you get to high school, the big stage is the stadium, the gym, on Friday, Saturday night, Thursday night, where everybody come. But even if you're playing for a baseball championship, which I did, in Wrigley Field, there was nobody there. So now, my real motivation, to be honest, I'm playing for the girls. When you were in Little League, guess what was cool about baseball? We dressed up in the real uniforms. We got the socks, the stationery, the matching gloves. We looked fly. But when you got in high school and the big game was at 2:30 and you go out in the stands, there's nobody there. Guess what? You play multiple sports. I'm now, hey man, let me try this basketball out. I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Dr. J. Let me try this football thing out. I want to be like Walter Payton. I want to be like Marshall Faulk, Emmitt Smith. Y'all see what I'm saying? They individualize the sport, and the stands will be filled up with all your peers. So guess what the guy wants to be? He want to be the quarterback. He want to be the basketball star, because who's all in the gym? The cheerleaders. On baseball, you can be the number 1 draft pick. The guy that just got drafted number 1 in baseball. The draft was just 5-7 days ago. Can you tell me who he was? Just got drafted. Signed a record multi-million-dollar bonus. Number 1 in the whole country. But I bet you better tell me who's going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft, because it just happened. Okay. AJ Jabonza. They got the summer. You see the correlation, ladies and gentlemen? They made a strategic move to jump over the MLB when the MLB got beside itself. Pride, hubris. Stop putting the teams in front of people in high school, and then made it more expensive. And then here's the other part, Nick, ladies and gentlemen. And this is why it's important what Nick's about to show you. When you get chosen as the number 1 draft pick in baseball, you don't go right to the pros. When you get chosen as the number 1 draft pick out of college or high school in the NBA, is there a minor league or do they go right to the NBA?
Yeah, right to the NBA. No,
right to the NBA. When you get drafted from college to play football, do you have a football minor league? No, you go right to the show. In baseball, in hockey, you go to the minor leagues off in Alaska and hope that you're going to make it to the pros. So those numbers dwindled all the way down, ladies and gentlemen, our community down to 6%. If I can play basketball, I can play football, even run track, I'm not playing baseball because I ain't getting the girls, ain't being stands filled up and getting all the money. The NIL money, there's no baseball players getting big NIL money. It's the basketball star, the soccer star, the football star getting the big bank. So why is this so important, ladies and gentlemen? Because guess what? This gentleman here, I don't follow baseball anymore unless it's the All-Star game or the World Series and really don't know any of the players because only now 7.5% is black. I'm going to keep it a buck. I like the sport, but once my kids stopped playing, I lost all love for it. And I played it ever since I was 5 years of age. Coached it until I was in my late 40s. Know it like the back of my hand, the science and everything. Could be a coach, which I coached for about 15 years, don't have no interest in it whatsoever. Here's where the power of faith and taking the principle to stay on point. I turned on the All-Star game this past Tuesday because I like to see the long ball. Sure enough, they put up this kid, never heard of him. Jordan, Alex, Walker. This kid drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, 24 years of age. He came out as a top prospect, drafted like second or third overall. Struggled because baseball is a hard sport. Is it not, Nick? The hardest thing to do in any sport is to hit a baseball being pitched at you at 100 miles an hour. This kid almost went into obscurity. He came out, had a flare of small success, then tapered off because the game is hard. That's another thing, ladies and gentlemen. The game lasts for almost 8 months out of a year, 162 grinding games. They call right now the dog days of summer. This kid comes back. St. Louis fans forget about him. He comes back, gets locked in, follows, his faith, gets a little bit better individual coaching, and jumps out on the scene and has an explosive first, half to the All-Star break. Gets chosen to participate in the home run derby. I don't know him from a hole in the wall, literally. And he's a St. Louis Cardinal player, which I'm a Cubs fan. We hate the Cardinals. They are our number one, enemy in baseball, just like the Sox to the Yankees, right? This kid steps up in Philadelphia. Philadelphia got 2 superstars in the home run contest. Bryce Harper and my main man, Kyle Schwarber, who helped win my Cubs the first World Series in my lifetime and never going to win again. So I'm pulling for Kyle Schwarber. But this brother steps up, 6'4", 6'5", quiet, cool. Gets up there, no emotions. He just beautiful swing, Nick, hitting line drives in the home run derby. He barely makes it through the first round. The second round, the semifinals, he wins by 1 home run, makes it into the finals. All of the fans in Philadelphia, you know how crazy and raunchous this Philadelphia fan, they're booing everybody except they're cheering for Kyle Schwarber. Kyle gets up in the finals. It's Jordan versus Kyle in the finals. Cal starts first. Man, he's cranking home runs. He blasts. You get 15 swings. Cal hits 11 homers. A great number. 11 out of 15. Jordan stands up, cool as a cucumber. The crowd is raucous. They're booing everything he does. He starts out, misses the fence. Man, this kid, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why I'm so excited, because he stuck to the principles. He stuck to the 4x4. You know who's around him? Guess who's at the game, Nick? His mother, his dad. They're still married. His sister, his grandmother. That's another reason why baseball used to be number one, because we used to all come together and stick and watch this sport. So he steps up to the plate, ladies and gentlemen. He gets down to his last swing. He only has 7 home runs. But the way the competition is set up, as long as your last pitch, you hit a home run, you get to keep swinging. It's 50-something thousand fans, Nick, booing against him. The likelihood that he can win probability is 1.5%. This brother hits 7 straight home runs and hits the walk-off game winner and wins the home run derby. What's the moral of the story? This young brother was about to be sent down to the minors. He was a disappointment in the eyes of the fans because he came out as a top draft pick at 18, 19 years of age, had a little bit of mild success, stumbled the last 2 years prior to 25-26 campaign, and now kept the faith, changed some things. Does that sound familiar? Got knocked down, got back up, but his core team, mom, dad, sister, grandmother, coaches, stayed locked in with him because he had the talent. He had the 4x4. He kept adhering to the system. He had humility, and he had an amazing work ethic. He never got high. He never got low. And this kid put the whole stadium on his back. First time ever a rookie wins the home run derby, Nick, in the history of the contest. First time ever does a St. Louis Cardinal player win the derby. And they had Albert Pujols, Ozzie Smith, Brian Jordan, man, a ton of stars that played for St. Louis. Willie McGee, Jack Clark. I know baseball. So I'm like, what? A St. Louis baseball hitter never won the home run derby? I can't even fathom that. So this kid, ladies and gentlemen, he perseveres. He's not Mustafa. The principle, 4x4, discipline, accountability, plug into the system. He plugged into the Cardinal system and doubled down on the training and the coaching when he wasn't performing. And he just went to work without complaining. All of his teammates love him. Then he applied the intangibles of professionalism. Dude, he wasn't out there flipping his bat and all this crazy stuff and talking real loud. He was just calm, cool, collective, persistent. He persevered. And when the lights were the brightest in the enemy stadium, down 7 home runs, 1 swing left, that brother was like Jordan. How apropos that his first name is Jordan. Hit 7 straight home runs in the enemy stadium. And if anybody knows sports, Philadelphia has got the worst fans against the opposition. They have booed Santa Claus. They booed Donovan McNabb. They booed their own players. You could just won a championship for them yesterday. You have a bad game the next day, they will run you out of the town. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He stayed the course. He became the home run derby king. And he also opened up another window for Black young kids to find a Black player that they can idolize in a positive way and emulate, looking at what's the most dangerous thing going on in our community right now, Nick, as it pertains to the family unit.
The most dangerous thing.
Yep.
Pertains to the family unit.
To the family unit in Black America.
Black America. And it's just one thing you're talking about.
It's one thing. You got it in stars. I'll just give you a hint. You got it in stars, but we're going in the opposite direction for the last 30 years. The family unit.
That we getting away, not getting away, but gotten away from the nuclear family unit.
And what does that consist of, Nick?
A mother and a father and children.
Say that again.
A mother and a father together, married, and children.
There you go. Married. Mother, father, husband, wife, God, man, woman, child, external family, grandparents on both sides. This kid has got all of that. They interviewed his grandmother, and she said, I've loved my grandson since he was just as big as a tumbleweed. And you would think that's an exception to the rule, Nick, but the reality is it does still exist. And Brother, what is the other fallacy? Oh, Black men don't take care of their kids. That is the biggest lie being propagated in the whole world, because the statistics say we are number one, and it ain't even close to taking care of our children outside of marriage. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fact check me. So why I was so excited, it wasn't the fact that he won. It was the fact that they showed what is the norm in our community of family together, 3 generations. 3 generations deep, bro. Son, sister, mom, dad, husband, wife, grandmother. And they weren't all blinged out, all ratchet and stuff. They were cool, professional, middle class. Dude, I got so excited, ladies and gentlemen. And if you can't put the pieces of the puzzle together, your wood is wet. The principle. Do I have to beat it in your head? I'm conveying. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Why are we excited? Because we had the same struggle that Jordan did. We had the same continuity that Jordan did. His dad said, I knew when he was 3 years old, he used to sleep with his baseball glove. Does that sound familiar? I did that. And they said, hey, when did you know he had potential to be in the pros? When he stepped up to plate at 6 years old, hit a home run and broke his grandmother's window. Who has not done that as a little kid, broke somebody's window growing up playing ball? You know the warm and fuzzies I was getting, man. I hopped on, sent that to Keith. We got a good friend named Keith. His son is playing college baseball right now, ladies and gentlemen. About to finish his last year in college. And he's thinking about, man, there's no more way for me to go in baseball because I'm playing D2 ball. I literally just a week before that told Keith, hey, man, tell your son, first ask him, do you love baseball? And I already knew the answer, because there's no way you're going to be playing in obscurity D2 baseball and not hardly any scouts looking at you. You got to love it, because he's been doing it from the time he was 10. Now he's 22. But guess what? Because they are first-time baseball parents, Keith didn't play baseball growing up. They thought it's probably the end of the road for everything baseball. You know what I told him, Nick? Hey, man, tell him. Finish his degree, which he's already going to do. Get his degree. That's a given. Hey, man, create relationships with your coaches. Go try out for the minor leagues because you're allowed to. And if you don't make it, go be a coach. Matter of fact, get on the business side and get in the C-suite. But we don't look that far. Now, mind you, Keith and his wife were professionals, but they didn't know. So guess what they did? They sat down with their son, and I said, hey, use me as a tool, a resource. I know professional MLB players up the wazoo. So how does that relate to this? Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you, in anything that you do, if you stick to the principles of the vision that God gave you, and you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, which is the power, that's the power. You have to have faith in the unseen to create it in the seen. You have to speak. The power of life and death is in the tongue. Speak, therefore, what you want, you will become. Good, bad, or indifferent. And then when you put the principle and the power and the work and the system and the community around you, God will do the magnification of unlocking the third level to unlimited happiness, peace, and oh, by the way, David said, God, all I want is to please your heart. So give me wisdom and discernment. That was all David asked for. And since he was authentic in his heart, God said, oh, I'm giving you wisdom and discernment. And oh, by the way, homeboy, I'm giving you all the monetary things in life plus. But if you go to God, I want, Samson, he's not going to bless you. So, Nick, show the video real quick, because this is a testament of fortitude. This is a testament that we can still play at the highest level in anything we put our minds to, but it's a testament you got to stay faithful. You got to apply the principles. And when you do that, the gifts will be unleashed to you. You don't have to choose basketball, football. You don't even have to choose baseball. But what you have to do is choose the vision, listen to God, apply his principles, have the power of faith, and work diligently. And then God will bless you and open up doors that you didn't even know that you were going to get in those rooms. Show the video, bro.
Honestly. And it was tough. It was tough to keep my head up sometimes, but I kept going. And honestly, I had the best teammates around me, and honestly, I had the best staff around me. Obviously, best family around me as well. That kept me going. So that was super important.
Okay, so you've got a check that we've already given to your family.
Right.
You've got a chain. You've got a trophy, and now Rizzo's got one more thing.
Yeah, we got a little nice little MVP.
Oh,
Netflix Letterman jacket.
It's the
I mean, bro, you got
first
ice in your vein. Ice in your vein. You gotta be cold, right?
Yes. He's icy,
Old
quite
Sally.
literally, with
Old
the
Sally.
jewelry. Incredible. First derby on Netflix. You get the inaugural MVP jacket. Jordan, congratulations. I hope you guys celebrate. And also remember that Philadelphians' favorite word is John, but their second favorite word is boo. And you brought that out tonight, which is a badge of honor.
Thank you guys. It means the world.
Thank you so much. All right, go hug your family.
Go hug your family.
Jordan Walker, your derby champion.
Man, can you tell me that ain't a beautiful thing? What's the narrative across every medium in America? Single, family, mom, grandma, knucklehead kid, who even when they make it, they just get out of control. Dude, you know what? You think the MLB wanted to have a together black family all together and highlight this brother? Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Why ain't this brother all over every television screen since then? If this was the NBA, that person would be over on everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. They just had the ESPYs. They showing the Knicks and Jalen Brunson everywhere. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yep, they are.
Here it is, a young black man doing it right. A great family foundation doing it right. They are missing the mark. He should be on every commercial around the block, just like they done for Caitlin Clark. And she ain't won nothing. Correct me if I'm wrong. She hit a couple of threes from the logo and got in the championship game, won nothing. But she on every television screen, this side of the Mississippi to the Pacific to the Atlantic. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's the next great superstar. And I don't have anything against her. But why aren't they showcasing this brother? But you know what? It don't matter to him and his family because they are serving the right purpose with the right plan, and he's going to have a amazing future. But you know what? Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, and then we're going to tell you what we're excited. You go through 3 phases in life. You struggle. You heard him. He said he struggled. Did he not say that? But now he's having success. But his success is significant, sped up, because in the few interviews he's done since, which have been on small platforms, he said, I hope that I can be the lamplighter to all young black boys in America to still play baseball. If this was Tim Tebow, dude, he'd be on Good Morning America, all them television shows. Have you seen this brother on any of the major television shows? Let's keep it a buck. But you know what? That was broadcast to millions of people. Millions of people. But check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Now, here's the opposite flip of the coin. This is a good kid, but he's not doing anything of value. I Show Speed. I Show Speed, 2 days ago, he's at the England Argentina game. He's got an England soccer jersey on with the England flag painted on his back. Last time I checked, he was American. Is he not? Guess what? 118 million people watch him do his little what do you call it? His little skit. Did you hear me, Nick? 118 million. What has he won? You know what he's won? He's won the Sperm Club Award in social media. He ain't won no championships. He ain't saved no lives. And his popularity, let's take out, because I'm not hating on. I like the kid, but I want to press a point to you that we're getting programmed, our children, by stupidity. His popularity is based on him going places, acting foolish. He's a great kid. He's very respectful. He's yes sir, no sir. But what is he doing other than being what Malcolm X calls a court jester? And I mean that in a positive way. I love to meet the kid because he is yes sir, no sir, how you doing? He doesn't use profanity. But at the scheme of things, what is he doing? But here's a young man who's worked. And I'm not saying that the kid don't work, but what is the work he's doing? Anybody? Come on, man. But I Show Speed, he's on everything. Didn't even know who the kid was 2 years ago. He's got multinational commercials and all he does is stream. But here it is. This young man, only a couple of years older than I Show Speed. I Show Speed's like 21, 22. This kid's 24. This kid is paying the price of long-term success in the hardest sport, trying to raise the exposure of kids who love the sport and will be watching a lot of Little League World Series baseball, more highly rated than Major League Baseball games. Did you know that? Last year, the Little League World Series had 10 million viewers when baseball World Series was only getting like 5-6 million. Is that not amazing? So think about it. You got all these kids at 12, 13, and everybody's watching, but when they go to high school, the lights go out. Nobody understands because it's during the day. I'm not motivated to do that. So what are we excited about, ladies and gentlemen? Because just like my man Jordan Alex Walker, and trust me, you should be hitting up his IG, hit up his TikTok, every platform he's on. If you look like us, and we love everybody, you should be supporting him. And if you got a kid that loves baseball, you ought to turn him on to Jordan Alex Walker, number 18. And you should turn on to us because we have not once, not twice, but 3 times have used the new vision from getting from one peak to another. We taken the principles that God gave us, the 4x4, and Nick and I, D, Ty, Kadera, Keith, Gerald, Jaku, Emmanuel, have applied the faith, and it created the power to unlock the present, which is now we have been blessed, ladies and gentlemen, with a bubbling volcano that's about to erupt. And right now, since we've done most of the hard work like Jordan did in obscurity where nobody knew, when he was down in the minors struggling and had come out to the pros and didn't really do well and was about to go back down and he was about to be forgotten, we kept doing the work, ladies and gentlemen. And from keep doing the work, we now have garnered in what you would think is a short period of time, just like Jordan, didn't know he was, hopped on the scene for the home run derby, getting a multiplier, and performed when the lights were the brightest. We've signed 4 major contracts, ladies and gentlemen. We signed contracts with the 2 largest safari companies in all of Arusha, which Arusha is the capital for the safaris of the world, because the Serengeti is only an hour and a half from Arusha. Mount Kilimanjaro, only about an hour and 20 minutes from Arusha. Arusha is the capital for the safari world. Yes, you can go to a safari in a couple of other countries right around, but it is the capital, brother and sister, ladies and gentlemen. So we've, through our work, through applying the 4x4, not getting discouraged when this happened and we passed on the boat, but we didn't pass on the helicopter. So we signed 2 major deals with 2 of the largest and oldest and most successful safari companies in the world. We signed a contract with the largest provider of luxury VIP lounges in the whole East Africa. And check this out. Everybody's been trying to get on their team and they chose us. And nothing we could have done, ladies and gentlemen, to get this except follow God's plan. We are grateful beyond gratefulness because we knew that it didn't have anything to do with our talent. It didn't have anything to do with our intellect. It all had to do with we followed the principles and locked in and trusted God and trusted the team through thick and thin. So now God says, since you've been faithful servants, I'm going to open up some doors that you never could have opened. And all I ask is you give all glory and honor to the Most High. So we signed that contract. Then a week later, right before I'm coming back to America, we signed a big contract with EOA. 150 units for the largest B2B conference in Zanzibar and Tanzania. Get excited. So, Nick, you asked me what I was excited about. The future so bright we wear shades. But, man, we are just like Jordan Alex Walker. We are keep working. And guess what? We now tapped in to the Chamber of Commerce. And they told us Zanzibar is the best vacation spot in all of Tanzania and, in their humble but honest opinion, East Africa. And these people from Africa 3 major prominent families and organizations told me over the last 2 weeks, you know what? A lot of foreigners come here, and especially a lot of Americans, they come for great vacation, then they try to start businesses, and they fail because they don't know how to adapt to the Tanzanian and Zanzibar way. But you know what, DJ the Money Coach, since you have changed and come to some humility, we're going to help you with everything because we want you to be here and we want to have you grow and build businesses and employ our people. So we're going to open up some other doors for you. Serendipitous. The hard head did not want the butt to get any more softer. And now we're just following their lead and they're pouring into us, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, if you want to get on this boat, there's still a couple of seats left. And we couldn't be more excited because we have been given a present, a gift of grace and blessings that we have not earned on the superficial stage, but we have earned in the spiritual phase because we have been consistent in our work and we have built relationships through proper diplomacy. We went across America, Canada to the Caribbean. Did I not, Nick? I've spoken on a multitude of stages, ladies and gentlemen, and did not get the return that I expected, but I had the humility to take the invitation to go to the next event. So behind the scenes, I'm not saying this to get pat on back, but I'm just showing you the work that we've done. We've gone in the last 16 months as a team, as 2, as 4, as 1, Toronto, Canada, May 2025. I'm keynote speaker, room full of people excited about what you're doing. We get a few people sign up for packages and everything. Boom. People come to us, say, hey, if you're excited about this conference, you need to be at the largest conference in all of Canada. It's in the winter. Oh, man. DJ, I don't do winters. Born and raised in the Chi, I'm done with winters. And I was, trust me, I was like, man, no, man, you want me to go to Montreal, Canada in November? Nick, I looked up, oh yeah, weather's going to be a cool 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Wait a minute. Where's the weather at where I'm normally at in November? Oh, a cool 75 in the sun, baby. Shorts. In December, I'm in shorts on my birthday. Man, I'm like, no, man, I'm not doing that. They kept, hey, Madam Mayor, DJ, you don't want to miss. If you're trying to be in the market in Canada and you're not at this conference, you don't exist to these people. What? I can go do the summer. Yep, you can do all the summer conferences we have about hospitality. You not going to have no impact in Canada if you ain't up here in November in 15-degree weather. What'd your boy do? I didn't let the helicopter pass by. I grabbed on, pulled on up, like Dora the Explorer, went to Canada, Montreal, and it was cold. Boom. Speak to 120 agents. They're speaking French. I used to speak French back 25 years ago. Can't speak a lick of it now. We do a breakout session in French. Shout out to Nikki. We do one in English. We get a nice turnout, but it's a language barrier when I'm trying to talk to the people. We sign up, a third of what we expected. Not really the success that I expected. Again, wow, man, go to Toronto. Man, it was good, but it wasn't as great as I normally expect. Boom, go to Montreal. Man, it's good. Man, it's cold. Man, I'm not coming back. Do you hear me? I'm not coming back. Boom, we go down to the DR. Shout out to Sam. We have a great time. We spread the gospel. We have a couple of people from Canada interested in doing the packages with us. But guess what? The unrest happens. They get discouraged. Hey, we'll come see you in 2027. So you smile. What can you do? Oh man, you sent me a deposit. No, you're gonna come and put yourself in jeopardy potentially if something breaks out. No, you can't do that. You're in the hospitality business. You got to keep a smile on your face. You're disappointed, but you ain't done nothing. So you got to keep moving, right? So guess what? Madam Miriam, she comes and stays with us for a few days, complimentary. Comes down to Zanzibar. She brings a group with her. Hey, DJ, now the team is talking. Boom, the wars begin. You got to come to Keeley Fair. I'm not trying to come to Keeley Fair. We go through the first quarter, numbers down because the retreats that we signed up that were coming. Man, I'm just reluctant to fly over there. Man, I understand it. I'm not flying through the UAE. I fly to Paris now. A couple of our deals get pushed back to 2027, and there's no guarantee that those are going to happen. So now, hey, man, we got to do safari. Man, you want me to come in the beginning of June? Man, I have other plans. Nick, where am I at the end of June through 4th of July, like clockwork? Where am I at?
Your annual trip home back to Chicagoland.
Have you done that trip with me?
I have, yeah, 2021, I believe it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've done that trip for, 20 years. They want me to break my tradition like missing the family reunion. Can't take my children with me. Imagine, man, here you go again. This is the largest of its kind. Okay. I heard that in Toronto. I heard that in Montreal. I did an event in Chicago, in my hometown, in May. Numbers just weren't what they usually, because guess what? What's going on that we can't control? But guess what? Just like Jordan Alex Walker kept putting the work in. On the surface, I ain't gonna do it, but I know if they say it's the biggest, I gotta go. Prepare for the worst, but expect the best. Guess what, folks? Now, God says, oh man, he's been faithful. His team been faithful. They're a little frustrated. They're getting a little down out. Some of the investors are, a little nervous. Some of them think that, oh man, you promised a fugazi. But here's the thing. The heart stayed pure. Even though I showed frustration, I wasn't mad. I wasn't angry. And guess what? That didn't block the blessing from God. See, a lot of times what happens, ladies and gentlemen, people will do the work, but they do it with angst and animus in their heart. And then they have resentment towards God. Who that sound like? Job. Remember Satan sitting down with God, say, hey man, give me your best. Believer, I can turn them against you. You ain't got one. He said, man, I got Job. He said, you can do anything to Job. Don't hurt Job or don't hurt his family. Of course, the devil crossed the line. And guess what? What did Job do? He refuted God. But because of experience, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm a little bit older now, if I had been Nick's age, I probably would have been like Job. But I've seen too much. And I know we're doing the right work. So open up June. I changed my plans that I've never broken. Don't take my family to Chicago, celebrate the bicentennial, and guess what? The floodgates begin to open. Fly in on the red eye. Get down. Go to Arusha. This thing is the biggest festival I've ever seen in my life, and I've been to a lot of big ones. People lined up. Guess who shows up that I didn't even know? Madam Miriam shows up. She now introduces me to the two oldest, most successful safari places. Guess what she's doing? She's edifying me because she saw me in Toronto working 12-hour days for 4 days. She saw me in Montreal working for 4 days. Had put a team together in Canada that the last 2 days they quit because they're not part of the real team. We hired people to work with us because nobody's flying to Canada 15 degrees in November with me. So we hired some people who spoke French. Have you ever had somebody that come to work 2 days and just don't show up, don't call or nothing? Have you ever had that experience? It happens. It happened to me in Montreal, Nick. I don't even think I told y'all that. Then guess what? Had the audacity to call and ask for the pay. Guess what? Paid them for the 2 days anyway. Did the right thing. Did not show up the last 2 days. Hey, can I get my money for the first 2 days? What? You did. You know what? I'm not gonna lose my blessing. Yep. Let me go ahead and send you your money. You did work them 2 days. Let me send you your money. We did that, folks. So now here's God sending in the edifiers that we did not expect, and now pulling people to. We were like a rock star, man. Not expecting any of this. So we go to Killy Fair, ladies and gentlemen. These people, hey, you got to come back. Do you have time to stay and do safari right now? No, man, I'm here for the conference for these 4 days. I got to get back to Zanzibar because we got work to do. So that's, hey, yeah, we want to work with you, but you got to come to safari. So we go back to Zanzibar. We are inundated with a ton of work. We working night and day. I ain't had no rest. D's had no rest. Jacuz had no rest. But guess what? All along the time, Madam Mayor, hey, DJ, if there's somehow you can squeeze in 4 days before you leave, you got to come experience safari. Mr. Faraz saying the same thing. Our friend has not saying the same thing. So guess what I did? I learned this lesson, ladies and gentlemen, from my grandfather and my father. If you can't afford to be there, then that's the reason why you got to be there. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? If there's all these reasons why you can't go to the event, that is the event. You don't have the money. You don't have the time. You got every excuse. But they're telling you this is the event where all you have to do is get exposure. You've got to hawk the farm. Like in Monopoly, you got to mortgage everything, and you better be there because it only happens once a year. So guess what, Nick? The last 5 days of my 5-week trip in Zanzibar, man, we got people coming doing work. We're updating rooms. We got to sit down with business people, banks, all this stuff. I said, you know what? I got to go to Arusha. Premium price for the airline tickets because it's peak season for the safari. Tickets cost 3 times what they normally cost, Nick. We don't have that money. But again, we cannot afford not to go, right? We get the tickets. We spend 3 times more. I don't know what to expect. It's an early morning flight. We got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Fly to Arusha. Man, we get off the plane on the tarmac, ladies and gentlemen. We're walking to go to whatever, the regular normal check-in. There's 2 guys standing on the tarmac in these safari outfits. Got a sign. On the sign, ladies and gentlemen, I think we showed you. DJ. DJ. So I walked past. I'm looking at my name. DJ the Money Coach. Them cats they not looking for me. So I just sheepishly, are you looking for DJ the Money Coach? Yeah, you DJ the Money Coach. Yeah. And now, usually I'll be like, yeah, man, of course I'm DJ. I'm like, yeah, I'm DJ the Money Coach. All right, good stuff. Welcome to the Rusha. Come with us. Okay, you about to take me to jail or something? They roll up a one of them custom, Mercedes vans, them real, whatever they call it, them customized vans with the TV and everything in it. Dude, they roll up, open the door, we hop in. Dude, VIP service. Take us to, like, when you get a chartered Lear jet. I've only had that experience once in my life. I'm like a little kid at Disneyland, bro. Take us up to the personal VIP check-in, check our bags in, give us drinks, food, everything. Oh my God, we're excited. And in the back of my mind, man, what I got to pay for this? How much this gonna cost me? But I'm playing cool, so I'm not eating a lot. So, boom, we do that. We having a good time. Now our safari partner rolls up in the Land Cruiser. We hop in the Land Cruiser. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna take you, man." He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna put you up." So I'm thinking, they're gonna put us up in this mid place, like a Motel 6 or a La Quinta or something like that. Shout out to La Quinta. So we driving, and it's about an hour and a half later. We going up in the mountains. I'm like, okay, but they about to pull like we had that experience in Michigan. So we driving, man. We go up into these woods and stuff, and there's this gated, not armed, but guards and everything, and it's this 6-star luxury villa resort that is just testing pre-opening. And they give us our own individual villas. Nick, you got to show them that video. And I know this is elongated, but the point is, ladies and gentlemen, when you serve with the righteous heart, do the right work, got the right team, and the challenges come to you. Those challenges are tests to see if you're going to stay faithful, if you're on the right path. And having discernment, which we have, then God blesses you with stuff that you would never be able to do. And all he asks for you to do is to give him his praise and honor. And don't be, pumping your chest out like you did something, because there's nothing we could have done. So, boom, they put us up. Boom, we have this amazing safari experience over 3.5 days. And next thing I know, we're signing these big time contracts, Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're getting our townhouses completed. So now it's sunshine, and we're almost to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So applying the principles, having the faith, putting them together, taking the 4x4. Now God has said, good and faithful servants, I'm going to unlock a door that only I can unlock. No matter how much talent I gave you, how much intelligence, how charismatic you are, yada, yada. You can work 1,000 hours straight a week. This door can only be opened by me for your benefit because of your faithfulness. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you get anything out of this 2-hour and 8-minute conversation, please have a vision, have faith, back it up with a plan, emulate God's principles, surround yourself with a team that is hardworking, ethical, transparent, and loyal. And keep doing the work, because right before the sunshine comes out, the storm is the darkest and the starkest. I'm going to tell you something else, ladies and gentlemen. right before I got on the plane to go to Zanzibar. Had two catastrophic events in my family that there's no reason that I should have got on that plane. Family member, and had a massive setback in another endeavor that cost tens of thousands of dollars. And 9 out of 10 people would have stayed home and mind that business versus getting on that plane. So I don't want to hear any excuse that you may have come into, because the reality is there's always going to be a challenge, and there's always going to be a reason for you not to keep pressing forward. But if you have discernment and you are on the right path and you have the right team around you, God is just seeing if you can handle, because he's about to give you a lot more responsibility. And that's the power of the principle, is the power to unlock the present, which is the gift from God on his time, which is the present day to day. So, man, Nick, let's take it to the break. We're going to come back and wrap this thing up because, man, we're excited. And we want to, no, we'll hold that till we get back. So you're watching Family Finance Friday. Tonight's show is the principle, is the power to unlock the present. And in order to do that, you have to adhere and abide by the 4x4. And we'll come back and give you the 4x4 right after these messages. And I hope that you like, subscribe, and share. And it doesn't matter to us as long as this impacts one person, because one person can impact millions. We'll be right back. What's happening, everybody? This is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live. And we're celebrating the Pom Pom Lifestyle new Beach to Safari VIP package. We're here at our new partners VIP resort, 24 executive villas with their own personal swimming pools, wooded deck with secluded privacy nestled in the mountains, overlooking a vista that's to die for. So you can see right now I'm on the rooftop with the beautiful cabana pool behind me, and I am sipping on a beautiful beer in Karutu. So hit the link and come join us on the Beaches of the World Club and ask for the new exclusive VIP Beach to Safari package with the Pom Pom Lifestyle. So plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club in paradise. What's happening, everybody? It's DJ the Money Coach coming to you live. As you can see in the backdrop, these amazing, beautiful elephants here in Tangier National Park. And today's beach is Safari, baby. Brought to you by Sunny Safari and our amazing driver, Herman. Man, we are really living the life on a wonderful Wednesday. Come join us, baby. All right. So we're going to wrap this thing up. We're not going to be like a Baptist preacher who's always closing. But man, I really hope that you can see the enthusiasm. And enthusiasm actually means God within. Nobody's perfect, but everybody can have success, but most importantly, can have significance if they just stay true to themselves, be authentically yourself, be a first-rate you and not a second-rate somebody else. So always emulate, don't duplicate. Okay. So what I want to impart with you is that just to re-summarize the importance of the 4x4. So the first ones are what we call the 4 dirty little words. This is the physical work that you have to do. And that physical work is actually mental. You know, as we say, 90% of the work is actually mental. It's only 10% that's physical. Okay. So discipline is the number one thing that you got to have in order to be successful. And there's a key one that I'm going to give you at the end of this. It goes with the intangibles. You have to have accountability, ladies and gentlemen. That means be accountable to a peer, a mentor, God, etc., then without saying, there's going to be a system. Either you are creating the system, which we are actually doing in Zanzibar. We're creating our own ecosystem, but we're not creating it from scratch. We are actually bringing it from America, from what we learned and what we've learned from other endeavors that I had experienced. And always understand this, ladies and gentlemen, dreams are sometimes delayed because God wants to manifest them on his terms to get them exactly where he needs you to be to actually handle them without becoming, a person that's arrogant and of, lack of humility. So plug into that system and do the system exactly the way it's taught to you. The one thing you will learn about true success, the people who get it the fastest are the ones who do it exactly the way the person who created it, that had success, that's creating significance, and they don't delineate from it. It's boring. It's like what Belichick used to say, do your job. If you're the runner on the special teams, it's important that you bust your butt down there and make that tackle and make sure you get field advantage against the opponent. If you're the field goal kicker, your job is to be ready to kick that extra point. And if you're the superstar, do what superstars expected to do when the pressure's on. Be you. Then you got to go to work, ladies and gentlemen. And when I mean you got to go to work, you have to do the same thing every day. Winter, snow, sleet, fall, somebody passes away, whatever, you have to put the work in for 2 to 5 years. If you work hard for 12 months and all of a sudden you take 2 off, you're not starting at month 14. You're starting back at month 1. A lot of people get that confused. Oh man, I've been doing this for 2 years. Okay, have you been doing it consistently for 2 years, or did you take a 3, 4, 5 month break? Another reason why kids stop playing baseball too, because this is one of the hardest sports to play. You can't take 3 months off of baseball and come back, since it's so hard to play, like basketball, and just do it. Michael Jordan tried that with baseball. No, he was able to come back to basketball, a little rust, and get up. You are light years behind, like dog years, if you take off 3-6 months of baseball and then expect you're going to come back and compete with these people, right? So those are the 4 dirty little words. You have to incorporate those. This principle in the title is a group set. So now you back that up. We call it the 4x4. So the front 4 is the physical. Now you bring it with the soft skills, the 4 P's. And the 4 P's, the first one is professionalism. I'm not going to tell you what that means. Hey, if you're watching a replay, just rewind back and you know exactly what professionalism. This is where we stop holding our community accountable. When you see somebody who is, violent, undisciplined, uncouth, don't have, social skills of, being, good manners, but because they got some money, they think that doesn't apply to them. We're allowing a lot of our people to act trash. Number 2, you have to expect work, challenges, curveballs. You have to be persistently following your plan with consistent work ethic. Nothing of success comes without consistency. You have to be predictable. That's why a family nucleus is so important, is to see mom and dad together. So when they're a hard time, you can know they're still there. They may have fear. There's no human that doesn't have some form of fear at some point in time, or uncertainty. But the fact that you see them together, that gives you mental stability. And then you have to have the ability to take that gut check. Hey, man, I tell this story all the time. I was in my early 20s. I was an image manager. I got a job in the car business. I'm wearing Armani, Italian suits. I'm dressed up. I'm 3 months in the rear behind on my car payment. Nobody knows but me. I'm at the car dealership trying to become a car salesman. And lo and behold, I got low jack on my car, which was new technology then. And I'm thinking these cats are not going to know where I work at. Guess what? Tow truck rolls up to the dealership. I'm a newbie in training, and they towed my convertible car, brand new whip that I had for about 18 months. And they towed my convertible, custom rims, stereo, custom personal license plate. I'm just bling, bling. Towed my car, ladies and gentlemen, right in front of me. I'm in the office, and I'm working with ex-NFL players, ex-NBA basketball players. And, yo, man, DJ, hey, man, your car's getting towed. What? Yeah, get up here. So first they got concern for me, but then I get up there, they're towing my car. I can't get it because I'm behind 3 months payments. Towed my car, man. They laughed me, clown me. What do most people do in that situation, Nick? What do most people do? You get laughed, you get clowned. What do most people do?
Oh, they're gonna go. They're gonna probably go cry in a corner somewhere
And quit.
Yeah, and quit. Yeah,
and quit. Guess what? Do you know what the statistics are percentage-wise of people who get their car repos that actually get their car out of repo and get it back? It's about 15. It's about 15%.
wow.
So mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I told my story. Remember I was telling you that my credit score went down to 580 back? This is during that tumultuous time in my life. So my credit was jacked. Even though I looked them cats in the eye, dude, I am devastated because they ride me. Kids today are soft. This is a hyper-competitive environment. The number one car dealership in the area I lived in. Everybody wanted to have a job at this joint. These cats making 6 figures at this dealership. This is back in the early 90s when 100 grand was a lot of money. You hear what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? I'm working with cats who I saw on TV playing basketball and football at my dealership. I just barely had a cup of coffee playing a little bit of baseball in college. At a D2 school, D3, whatever. These cats played in the NBA, played in NFL, state All-American, working at my dealership. Ah! They laughing, clowning me, dude. I'm broke. Oh, dude, you in here, you got these expensive shoes on, you got the expensive suit on. Man, why didn't you use that money and pay your car note? That was what people were saying to me. I didn't tuck my tail. One, I had to get a ride because I was in training. Rookies didn't get car demos. I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated. I went back to my office, finished working, called, got a ride. Talked to my general manager. He was like, hey, man, you're not quitting, are you? I looked him in the eye as best as I could, man. Dude, I was about to cry, man. Grown-ass man, about to cry. Yeah, I'll be back, Nick. He's like, hey, man, if you need a day off, I'll be back, Nick. Went to the crib, figured out, got up the next day, came back into work. Came back into work, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't sell a car for almost 2 months. There were like 15, 20 people started in my training class. Nick Kennedy is the name of the gentleman who trained me, was the general manager, multimillionaire. He had pulled me aside when he first hired me to be part of his group. He said, hey, man, only about 2 or 3 of y'all going to be in this business at the end of this year. You're going to be one of them. and I'm going to train you to do what I did to be the general manager and part owner in this dealership. I want y'all to listen to this message. So sometimes you can have all the talent, all the intellect, but you still need somebody to be apprenticed to. And you still need somebody to believe in you. So in these 4 P's, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm talking about perseverance, the number one intangible you got to have, ladies and gentlemen, and this is a fine line, you have to have supreme confidence. Let me say that again. You have to have supreme confidence, but it cannot go over the line to become arrogance and hubris. So why am I really so excited today? Because my grandmother, my mother, my father, my grandfather, through that sphere, just like Jordan Alex Walker, they sat me down and they said, DJ, you're going to be a star. However, you're going to have to work 2 to 3 times harder than everybody else. You're smaller. People are going to overlook you. But God's no respecter of person. You have immense talent. You are very smart. So here's what I want you to remember. Do the work. Outwork people. Outstudy them. And when you do that, your confidence is going to grow. And my grandmother said, son, all I ask you to do is 3 things. Number 1, be honorable. Be a good student. And love your family. And if you can do that, every year you bring in those 3 things and be a straight A student, you ask me for 1 thing a year and I'm going to get it for you. Now, mind you, my grandfather passed away of a massive stroke shoveling snow in Chicago when I was like 6, 7 years of age. So my grandmother went from a 2-parent, environment, 6 children, to her husband passing away of a massive stroke, never got married, and had to go from a stay-at-home mom and became a maid. Taking the bus in Chicago, going all the way up north, rain, shine, sleet, or snow, never complained. My grandmother probably in her best year probably made $20,000, $30,000. And she's having to take care of 6 children. Never dated another man in her life because I live with her. But every year, Nick, ladies and gentlemen, I got straight A's. And my grandmother said, whatever you want, I will get it for you. So on my birthday, every year, I had straight A's. And my grandmother got me exactly what I want. And I tell you, the best thing my grandmother ever did for me, she instilled confidence that when I bust my butt, she got me what I wanted because she said I earned it. So one time, which ties into this dream, is the reason why I chase all my dreams. I said, Grandma, I want to go to Disneyland. I'm about 7, 8 years old. Never been on an airplane. It's like, I don't know, 1978, 1979, somewhere around that time. My grandmother said, okay. She said, so you're going to go to Disneyland by yourself? I said, no. I said, I like to go with my cousin. We're like, bosom buddies. Heckle and Jekyll, frickin' frack. I want to go. Oh, she said, okay, you keep your end of the bargain. He keeps his end of the bargain. I'm sending you to Disneyland. So end of year comes, ladies and gentlemen. We both knock it out the park. Straight A's. my grandmother produced 2 plane tickets. And my grandmother's youngest sister, my Aunt Kat, lived in LA. Put us on a plane, my cousin and I. And I'm a precarious little kid, always, curiosity. I happened to see the price of the ticket. This ticket, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the like, it's really like 76, 77. This ticket was $600 per person. My grandmother bought 2 tickets. Nick, I want you to do me. Why don't you Google and ask Google, what is the comparative price of a $600 ticket purchased in 1978? What would be the comparable price today? I'm just curious. So my grandmother spent $1,200 on 2 tickets to send me and my first cousin to LA to go to Disneyland in the summer. What does Google say? What would be the comparative price?
You said in 1976, right?
76. Let's call it 78. It was probably 70. Let's go. It was $600 per person.
Okay, 78. All right, let's see.
Yep.
All right, so it says $600 in 1978 is equivalent in purchasing power to about $3,084.
Wow. So that's $6,000, ladies and gentlemen. Let me ask you a question. How many people right now today got $6,000 to take a flight? My grandmother, I'm almost certain my grandmother never made more than $30,000 in a year. How much was that of her income? And she had 6 children. Do you think I understood that? 100% I understood that. When my grandmother did that for me, I realized that there ain't no mountain too high, there ain't no road too long, there ain't no river too deep to ever stop me from pursuing my dream. And I understood that whatever vision God gave me, as long as I work and I do it with honor and I honor my family, there's nothing that we can't have. So everything that I do is to honor my grandmother, because if it wasn't for my grandmother in showing me the impossible, think about that. $6,000. My grandmother wasn't a single mom. She was a widow. 6 children. Multiple grandchildren. I'm just one. And she invested $6,000 in a dream. In that moment there, I never looked back, ladies and gentlemen. She gave me the power of supreme confidence. And back at that dealership, when I had that low point, that perseverance, I was able to go home and pick up the phone and talk to my grandmother. And my grandmother said, "Hey, son, sometimes things happen, but pick yourself up, dust yourself off. Guess what? You still number one. And you already won." And that's why I went back into that dealership. And guess what? By the end of the year, even before the year ended, I was the number one salesperson in that dealership. The highest profit per car. I sold the most cars. And those same athletes who were on the TV, on the gridiron, they were coming up to me, all 5'6" of me. "Hey man, how do you sell this, that, and the other?" So those two seminal moments in my life, high water, seeing that the investment, just like Jordan Alex Walker's grandmother, if you saw the other part of the video when they interviewed her, she said, hey, I knew Jordan when he was the size of a tumbleweed. He was going to be in the MLB. This is my baby. But she didn't baby him. My grandmother, she didn't baby me. She was tough. She had rules. She put belt to ass. But when you did what she asked you to do and you protected the name on the back, if you told her you had to have that, she showed you that you earned it. So when I got into high school on a scholarship and I started competing with people who didn't look like me, there was no competition because they didn't represent anything to me because I knew the competition was against myself. Same thing at that dealership. Yep. I had the bat phone to call my grandmother, pick me up, wipe some tears from my eyes. Knew that going into that job the next day, the next week, if I don't cut it, that could have been the end of me. It could have been the same thing when I showed Nick the 1-bedroom apartment that I lived in when I was successful and I sold my house and I started my cleaning business and moved right into the hood. I never wavered in confidence because I knew there was not a dream that God was putting in my head just for BS. So now we're excited because we're unbreakable. You're unbreakable. And now that we put the work in, and now that my beloved grandmother has, been gone since 2004, 2005, I live on her shoulders, my grandfather's shoulders, my father's shoulders, because the name on the back of the jersey is the legacy. So now I expect us to be successful, not with arrogance, because we put the work in. We did the research and we found the hidden gem. And now the blessings are coming because we're being faithful, we're being hardworking, we're being honest. And we're not helping ourselves, we're helping other people. So I hope that you take this message in any aspect of your life, that you follow God's plan, surround yourself with a great team, do the research, and don't waver. But here's the thing you have to understand. All great things that are worth having, they come with tremendous obstacles, which are nothing but opportunities in disguise. So now we're celebrating, ladies and gentlemen. And these are the best times. We're about to have a tsunami, economic one, because we expect it. We also expect big challenges because every challenge, there's a solution. So, Nick, that's the reason why we got the championship rings on. These are championship rings that we won with our sons, that we earned. And we're about to have a major championship ring that we're going to be wearing in Zanzibar with all of you. And you're going to come and you're going to stay at the Pom Pom Suites. You're going to stay at the Pom Pom Lifestyle Resorts. You're going to stay with us at the Del Amani Dara luxury townhouses. And you're going to use the ancillary services of the ecosystem that we put together. That's right. We have our own company there. We have transportation, concierge, commercial cleaning, excursions. Because God gave us a dream. And we work in that dream. You don't question the other guy's dream. Why you question our dream? The question is your dream big enough? If your dream is big enough, you should feel a little nervous. You should have butterflies. If it's not, you ain't dreaming big enough, baby. You got to have a big, audacious, ridiculous dream, but it's got to be, groundable, that you have somebody that can counsel you as well. So what I want to encourage you is that the principle is the power to unlock the present, and don't demand from God. Serve God, and God will serve you if you're serving his people. So do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, but most importantly, get yourself 3 advisors. So we're going to leave you with this, and we're going to go to our final break. So the first advisor you should have, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if you're 5 years old or 95 years old. Anybody that's successful in life has an advisory team or a counselor or a mentor. Those who don't, with the talent and the intelligence, they fall off. So have yourself a spiritual advisor. Emulate the principles that they teach you. Don't hold them up to the standard. What my pastor told me, Pastor Rackett, he said, DJ, I want you to make sure what you read and understand through your comprehension level, that these words are meaningful, measurable, and manageable based on your comprehension, not me in the pulpit or at the podium. Nick, I want you to put that up there, because that's so important, because your advisors, they're human. They're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes. So don't hold them to the standard that you have to have. Hold the standard at God's bar. So make sure when you're reading whatever you read, if it's the Bible, the Torah, what is the other one? The Quran? Am I saying that right? Whatever that book that you read that is tapped into God, you have to make sure it is meaningful. All right, Nick? Meaningful based on your comprehension, not the person that's telling you. You have to emulate the principles and you have to comprehend them. They have to be meaningful, manageable. Okay? Man, I have a senior moment. It's 3 M's. Meaningful, manageable. See, I'm getting old. Measurable, meaningful, manageable, measurable. Meaningful is the brain. Manageable means you keep it in a controlled environment. Measurable means you have to have benchmarks to hit. Okay? Meaningful, manageable, and measurable are the principles from a spiritual capacity. And you should apply this even in the other things. So the second advisor you want to have is leadership. Okay? So I always share this with people. The 2 best leaders that I've ever seen in human form as regular men is John C. Maxwell. Okay? How do you know he's a leader? Look at the fruit on his tree. Okay? You look at the fruit on his tree, he's built massive leaders, right? Having another senior moment. What's our other leader? Dr.
Miles Monroe.
Miles Monroe. There you go. Put it up. Miles Monroe. So these are 2 leaders, ladies and gentlemen, that all you got to do is check their record. John C. Maxwell, Dr. Miles Monroe. Unfortunately, Dr. Miles Monroe is with our maker. But you know what? Been blessed to actually met and engage with both of them. Got blessed. So again, through leadership, hold them accountable to the principles that they are utilizing. So you want to emulate, not duplicate, so that you can be a first-rate you and not a second-rate somebody else. Okay? And again, the principles that they are utilizing, make sure they're meaningful, make sure they're manageable, and make sure they're measurable when they're giving you things to learn to do. Okay? So I was watching Nightcap 2 days ago, and Uncle Shannon and all his, sticks that he does, he's trying to downgrade Shador, the boxer. He's the best boxer in his class. And he was like, oh man, your fights are kind of boring, this, that. And so he said, don't you want to be like, and Shador said, no, man, I want to be the best Shador. Man, I was like, man, I loved it. He had supreme confidence without arrogance and shut him up. And he was like, you know what? He said, hey, you know what, Unc? I'm being respectful to you. I'm respecting you, but I'm disappointed in you that you keep trying to compare me to somebody else and you trying to downgrade my skills. But the reality is, the boxing is not about how many punches you can take. It's how many you can miss and go home still safe with all your faculties and health. He said, there's a bajillion fighters who want to have my skill sets that never get touched in the ring like I do. He said, so all I'm striving to be is the number one Shador. And Shannon shut the F up because he was trying to clown him. But the young man showed him respect and showed him disappointment because he's not honoring the principles Shador was. That was leadership. You follow me? Shannon is a Hall of Fame tight end, but he ain't a Hall of Fame character in mind of character and leadership, because I would never follow him. But this young man here, character, leadership. So the third one is you have to have a business. Advisor. So real simple. If you want to be $100 a year, you take advice from a successful $100 a year heir. If you want to be $1,000 a year heir, or let's call it a month, you want to be $1,000 a month successful person, you emulate the principles of the business system that the $1,000 a month person makes. If you want to be $100,000 a month successful businessman, Nick, what do they have to do, Nick?
Dude, that's who they need to take their advice from.
Nick,
someone who's done it.
How many times did we produce $100,000 a month in a year with DJ the Money Coach before we went to Zanzibar?
Multiple times.
Say that again, Nick.
Multiple. I don't know. I don't even know the number.
Would it be fair to say in the same calendar year from January of 2022 or 2021, whichever it was, because like you said, we hired Kadera. I think that was in 2021, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. This is not hyperbole. Nick been with me from day one. Correct, Nick?
That's right.
You seen it up close and personal. You are my what? What is your title with the company?
Business manager.
So would it be fair to say that you have access to the records and stuff?
Yep.
Especially when it's just you and me, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so check it out, ladies and gentlemen. So from January of the calendar year to December 31st of that calendar year, Nick, would it be fair to say that our business, as you told them, because when I had to go get the plug, we stumbled. We made a whopping negative $9,000 a month, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And people quit, didn't they?
Yep.
Did I not tell those same people, because they're good people? Didn't I say you should stay with us? Didn't I tell them that?
Yep. Yes, you did.
Nick could have left, ladies. Nick was just new with me. Now he went through the system and I helped him out personally, but Nick never been in no business. Nick, why did you stay?
Because of your track record, your history, been doing it for a long time. Repeated success, no flukes.
So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you want to make $100,000 a month, you can't take advice from somebody who just did it once. One time, one hit wonder. That's ignorance on fire. Nick just told you we did it multiple times in the same calendar year. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Spiritual, leadership, business. Guess what? Love my mother, love my grandmother, love my father, love my grandfather. Guess what? None of them ever made $20,000 a month. Guess what advice I never took from them? Business advice. But I took spiritual, common sense, work ethic advice, which was really business advice on how to treat people and how to work. But I took business advice from Nick Kennedy, multimillionaire. I took business advice indirectly. Who's my number one guy, Nick? I never met, but I met through books.
No one guy that you never met, but you met through books.
The one that I talk about all the time.
Let me see. Reginald F. Lewis.
There you go. Why should white guys have all the fun, ladies and gentlemen? So Reginald F. Lewis, first man in the history of the modern world, not first black man, first man to make $1 billion leverage buyout internationally in the history of the world. Go look it up. These are facts. So guess what I was able to do? I tapped into Reginald F. Lewis. You would have think that I knew him personally. I studied the man, studied his life. Guess what? He had a similar hero in his mother that had the same characteristics as my grandmother. So what's the moral of the story here, DJ? Well, if you don't physically have the ability to tap into the spiritual advisor, the leadership advisor, the business advisor, there's books, there's conferences, there's master classes, but you can't be getting that from the one lucky person that just stumbled on it and don't have anything really tangible to show. You can do that, but it's not going to be sustainable, ladies and gentlemen. Because see, those people, nothing wrong, but when the road get rocky, they quit and go do something else. When their car get repoed or their IG account gets suspended, mine have not had my IG account for, I think it's now 4 or 5 months. Don't care because I'm not an influencer and I didn't do anything wrong. All I did was contact people, ask them if they want to do some business with us. And for whatever reason, asking good quality questions, which we've been doing for 2 years, they now said that, oh, we're suspending your account. I said, okay, no problem. They said, oh, we want your personal passport, driver's license. I don't know you like that. That will be a no. But see, you would have done it because, oh man, I'm about to lose my online income. Not me, bruh. Ask the team. I said, I'm not doing that. You would have quit. Oh man, my social income is gone. YouTube, but you can say the N word, the B word, the everything else word, drag through the mud word, and man, they'll give you 25 channels, right? So again, I promise you not to be like the Baptist preacher wrapping up. So here's the message. So here's the point, right? Go after the ones with the fruit on the tree. And here's your litmus test for them. If they've told you that they've never had a massive failure, that everything they touch turns to platinum and Gucci and gold, one or two things is true. They're lying, or their tidal wave of destruction is right upon the shore. Most likely, if they're young, they're lying. I just asked Nick about 5-7 minutes ago, why'd you stay with me? He said, DJ, steady, consistent track record. he was able to see physically my setbacks. Literally took him to the spot in the hood where I had major setback. And Nick, it was that apartment that I got my car repoed at, which I believe I shared with you. It was that apartment. That became the most important second scenario in my life to when my grandmother sent me to Disneyland. So guess what I have, ladies and gentlemen? I got the lowest of the low. Man, I had my health and I had God. I came out of it 10 times better, healthier, physical, and income-wise. I saw the top of the mountaintop that I never expected to go to Disneyland in no world, because there's no way, I knew nobody in my family could afford to send me to Disneyland. My grandmother said, you know what? We're going to move mountains today, honey. And she moved them. So what did she show me? She showed me two extremes. One, there ain't nothing you can't overcome if you got your health and your faith in God and you got a support system. I don't care what it is. It's overcomable. Number two, there ain't nothing on this earth that you are working legally, ethically, and morally sound that God will not bless you with. So now, ladies and gentlemen, Zanzibar is a layup to us. And the layup's about to be a dunk. And we're about to hit the three-pointer from the logo and do it consistently. The only question is, are you coming along for the pom-pom ride with us? Because the ecosystem is about 70% complete. We are 4 years physically in Zanzibar, but we're really only 2 years into the business plan of actually learning the business. Nick, this is no different than high school, is it not? You come in as a freshman, you're a sharp 8th grader, and you start at the bottom, right? Your 4.5.0 that you got in whatever school in 8th grade starts at what? 0, right? You graduate from high school as the valedictorian. You got scholarships to every school. You choose one. Your grade point average starts at what?
0.
You are a nobody, right? You a plebe. Unless you coming in there that everybody wanted and they showcased you on every show, you're still 0. And the opposite is true too. If you graduated just barely and you go to the next level, you start at the same level with them so you can change your direction. You can go from a 0 to a hero and nobody would ever know. So we're really just finishing our freshman year in Zanzibar. Now we're about to be in our sophomore campaign as the wise fool. And we're really a little bit now we're about to become a junior. We're about to become part of the establishment real soon here. We're still staying consistent. And now people are starting to bless us because they said, just like the people I told you about an hour and a half ago, they said, hey, a lot of foreigners come here. Zanzibar is the most beautiful, greatest place to vacation at. It is 1,000. But to do business here, it's another game, baby. And most people, once they get a couple of things that don't go their way they expect, they cut bait and go. Wow, you guys still standing? Wow, you're actually still doing what you said you do. Maybe not doing it on the time frame that you thought, but you're making production. We like that. We're getting behind you. We have a saying, Katie, bar the door, baby, because ain't nothing stopping us now. We are excited. Nick said just 3 hours ago, DJ, what are you excited about? I'm excited that we have adhered and applied the principle. We had the faith, which is the power. It's magnified when you put it together, and 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 11. And now when we put that press down over, it's 1,000-fold, because now God says, I'm stepping in now and I'm going to unlock this present to you in the present. And that's what we're excited about. So ladies and gentlemen, leave with this. Have a spiritual advisor. Got the fruit on the tree, emulate, don't duplicate. Make sure it's meaningful, measurable, and manageable based on your comprehension, not theirs. hold them accountable to God and hold yourself accountable to God and emulate the principles because they're human. They're going to make mistakes. Number 2, get yourself a leadership advisor. John C. Maxwell, Dr. Miles Monroe. Those are my go-to. Check them out. Make sure you got the fruit on the tree. John C. Maxwell, 50 years as a leader. Dr. Miles Monroe, at least 45, 50 years before God took him home. Number 3, you got to have a business advisor. You want to be $100,000 a month after and after and after repeatedly. You can only get that advice from somebody who's done it not once, not twice, but 3 years consecutively, or 3 years out of the 5, because everybody has ebb and flows, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So with that said, you combine that with the 4x4, the 4 dirty little words, and the 4 P's, and you too can harness. The principle is the power to unlock the present. So on behalf of the amazing Nick Westbrooks, who is the nucleus of everything in DJ the Money Coach, the organization, we wish you a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money and peace of mind, and come join us on the Beaches of the World Club, because there's an economic tsunami windfall right over the horizon, and we have tapped in, and it is starting to pay dividends. And all we want to do is have you come share with us, and we'll see you in paradise. Nick, take us to the break. We're out of here. God bless. Hey guys, this is DJ the Money Coach coming to you live again at the Pom Pom Suites. Just giving you just a quick little 180 of how beautiful it is, and the water is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. That's right. I am standing in the Blue Lagoon at the amazing Pom Pom Suites. That's right. And so, just to give you guys a nice little slow 160. And yes, getting the suntan, a lot of people love doing here at the Pom Pom Suites. So come join us. You can see families, children, singles, beautiful people. Love being here at the Pom Pom Suites. You will too. Enjoy your tremendous Thursday wherever you are, and we welcome you to become guests of ours and join us on the Beaches of the World Club here at Pom Pom Suites. In mind, come join us on the beaches. Hey, what's happening? This is DJ the Money Coach. This is actually where I used to live when I was broke. 2053 East 80th Street on Clyde in South Shore. That's right. So before we became legendary, this is where it all began. And if I can make it from these humble beginnings, you can too. Have a pom-pom lifestyle that's plenty of money, peace of mind. Come join us on the Beaches of the World Club. DJ the Money Coach. I see you on the bright side.